Happy Tuesday out there to everyone joining in. Thank you for coming back. And if you're new to the station, thank you for joining us. Now, make sure that you guys hit the subscribe and the follow button because we don't want you to miss a single episode. And speaking of great episodes, we are back with another amazing one tonight. Before we get started, though, I do want to take a moment to say some thank yous and to share some gratitude with Dave C., Jessica Lesberg, and Snooky Bear. The three of you guys were with us on our show on the 6th, and you guys donated to our Tiltify campaign. So thank you so much, Dave, Jessica, and Snooky Bear for your donations. And it's because of you guys and everyone like you that's been donating to our cause that is helping continue to keep the ALS Association's Greater Chicago chapter active, involved, and helping so many individuals with ALS. And all of the services that are provided, I'm never going to stop saying this, are free of charge. So thank you for your donations. Please keep it up. Make sure you guys check out our Tiltify campaign. You can see it on the About Us page in that beautiful little purple box, or we will stick the link up in the comment section. So at any point in the night, if you guys want to donate and get us closer to our goal, we would happily love you to do so. And no amount of donation is too small. So make sure you check that out, and we would love to have you. And if you guys remember, you can also sponsor buckets. So if you guys want to see me get doused in ice water, I'll take as many buckets as we can get. So you can throw a logo up there in memory of a company logo and sponsor as many buckets as possible. Let's make that happen also. Oh, I love it. I love seeing these numbers go up as people are tuning in. Welcome to the show. Also, it is still the month of April, so April Showers is going to be bringing some May sunflowers. We still have the April Showers event going on. Jessica, gosh, I'm making up names. Sabrina Johnson, who I was just on a live with earlier tonight. She has teamed up with 4 amazing small businesses that are donating for the entire month of April. They are going to be donating a portion of their sales to our chapter. So I want to remind you guys again, shop small business, and especially shop these businesses, because not only are you going to get some really cute stuff, but you're also going to help the chapter. So Above Able, they're an amazing clothing company. They are having free shipping right now. And not only are they going to be donating 10% of their profits to the chapter, but they're also giving you a 10% discount. So if you use the promo code ALS, you'll get 10% off your purchase. So make sure you check them out. You can, oh, there they are. That's their handle on Instagram. Otherwise, aboveable.com. We'll send you right to them. Signs by Stephanie out of Buffalo Grove. She makes homemade, custom-made signs. They're super, super adorable. Check her out on Instagram. You'll see all of her stuff, and it'll give you the link to her Facebook. She is donating 20% of all sales for the month of April to our chapter. So you want to, yes, Kendra, I second that. I love to shop also, which leads me to the next store, Epoxy Queen, who has the cutest tumblers, the cutest cups, and she is actually doing $10 for every cup sold. She's donating $10 to the chapter. So make sure you guys check that out. They have a really adorable sunflower one with a name on there that I feel like needs to be mine real soon. So yeah, there it is. Epoxy Queen 1. Check them out on Instagram. And hey, start shopping for some Christmas gifts early. Why not, right? Shopping for a cause. And finally, the 4th store helping out this month is Stuff by Steph. She does all kinds of custom stuff, but she's donating $3 for every mask sold this month. So like I said, shop for a cause. All the money is going to a great chapter that's doing some amazing work in the world of ALS. Check them out. And now, one more thing I want to tell you about before we dive deep into this. The Jane Combs ALS Scholarship Fund. This is pretty spectacular. I was just reading up on this today because I'm embarrassed to say I did not know about this before today. But the ALS Association and Mark Combs, they have teamed up and they started a foundation, a scholarship fund in the name of his wife, Jane, who passed away from ALS in 2017. Now, education was extremely important to Jane. She really wanted for everyone to know the importance of education and how that could set them up for an incredible life. So when she passed away, her husband decided what better way to honor her than to start a foundation, a scholarship fund for them. And so they're actually providing money for financially compromised students that have been impacted by ALS. So $5,000 every year to as many students as their resources allow are being donated, which is huge. That puts such a great relief on families that, because at ALS, For those of you that do know or that don't know, it's a very, very expensive disease among all of the other things you have to deal with. So being financially burdened because of this is just awful. And they really want to help try to take that financial burden away and make sure that kids get to go to college or get to go to a vocational certificate training program. They want to help with that. So if you're watching, if you know anybody that has been impacted financially from ALS, please send them to this foundation. If they have kids that are going to school, adults going back to school, this would be hugely helpful. And you know what? If you don't and you want to donate to help bring education into lives of those that maybe can't afford it because of ALS, then think about donating. Consider it, and we're always happy to have new people come into this family and help spread some love and compassion and kindness. And this is just one more way you get to do it. So check out alsachicago.org. It'll have more information on how you can donate. And I think, yeah, Sam keeps putting up the link. So there it is. That's also in the comments. So make sure you are keeping an eye on those comments because it'll have all the information for you. And let us know what's going on. Tell us where you're tuning in from. If at any point you have any questions for our guests that are about to come on, throw those up there because we want to know. We want you to be a part of the show since this is live and interactive. So once again, thank you for joining us, and let's dive in. Let's get to it. We have a great show tonight. We have 3 more incredible guests. The first 2 that are coming on are 2 of the strongest, most incredible women, and I am so happy now to call them friends. I'm happy that they're in my life. Both of them have had some pretty tough things tossed at them. Life has been a little bit crazy, but both of them have continued to face it head on, never being victims, continuing to be strong individuals that have just fought every battle that life seems to throw at them. So first up, we have Coleen, who was diagnosed with bulbar ALS, which happens to be the rarest form of ALS. Bulbar begins by attacking the muscles that you use to speak, swallow, and breathe, leading to an average life expectancy of just months. And in fact, about 18 months to be exact. But Coleen, being the strong superhero that she is, she wasn't about to just sit back and take it. So she stood up. She has been fighting back for well over 18 months now, might I add. So she is beating the odds because she is such a fighter. And not only has she just been fighting, but she has stepped up to become an ALS advocate and spread awareness and share her story and journey along the way. So she's going to be here jumping on in a second to share her journey with us. And she is joined by her care service coordinator, Peggy O'Connor, who we are so honored. She's actually part of the staff at the Greater Chicago chapter as an RN and, like I said, care service coordinator. So the 2 of these ladies are about to come on, and I can't wait for you guys to get to know them. So please welcome Coleen O'Neill and Peggy O'Connor. Hi, ladies.
Hi, Susan. Thanks so much for having us on.
Oh, thank you guys so much for spending your Tuesday night with me. This makes me so happy. Peggy, I'm going to dive right in. Can you tell us, especially for those that are watching and that maybe don't know, exactly what is care services? What do they do?
Yeah, my job description is not your standard job description. I've been a registered nurse for more years than I want to admit. And my what I get to do every day encompasses teaching and education and support and helping people connect the dots and live their best life with ALS. So our care services team is made up of nurses and social workers, and we walk people through this journey with ALS from the day they're diagnosed and register with us straight through till the end, and we continue to support their families. We're part of support groups. We attend the clinics. We manage our lending closets. If you need a piece of equipment, we can help you get it. And we're the answer gals. We, every possible question that patients and families can come up with, we've got an answer.
Of course you do, because you're a pro. Like Sabrina just chimed in. So I did a live with Sabrina. She's saying how awesome you are. So you were actually her father's care service coordinator. And she was telling me earlier how it doesn't end, that you were at her father's funeral. And even after her father passed away, you've still been such a huge part of her family. So care services is so important. We're so lucky that we have you and that we have care services.
Oh, and I was lucky to get to know Sabrina's dad and her family. They're amazing. And Tony.
And also, yeah, and also talking about people that you're lucky to get to know, Coleen. So do you remember the first time that you met Coleen?
Actually, I don't remember which was the first. I get to interact with Coleen in two different places. One is the multidisciplinary clinic that she attends, where I'm a part of the team that gives her care. But she also is probably the liveliest and best known participant in the support group that she attends. As you will see, Colleen's ALS is affecting her speech, but it in no way affects her ability to express herself.
No, and I've only known her for a hot second, but Coleen, I feel like we go way back at this point already. I can't. So speaking of some of your amazing qualities, definitely your outgoing spirit is one of them. But another thing that I admire so much about you is your strength. And I was watching some videos that you were talking about, and I love your humor too. You were mentioning that coming to terms with this diagnosis is like being punched in the face. I don't know that there's a better, more eloquent way to say it. That's exactly what I can imagine it would be like. But when you had this diagnosis and you got that, punch to the face, you said you sat back and it led you to really start thinking about strength. So what does it mean to you to be strong?
I'm having more technical difficulties.
Oh no!
Okay.
Technical difficulties.
I need to be strong for my teenage daughter. What do I want her to see and learn from a challenge? What way do I want her to tackle the world? So I kind of decided with that 18 months, I thought, boy, I better get cracking on that list. I have so many things I want to do, and so many things I want my daughter to see and experience, and I want to make an impact. But how do I want to be remembered? And that is a driving force.
Well, you're doing it. I can tell you, I've already known you for a short period of time, and girl, you've already got my heart. You've already acting. There's no way I'm forgetting you. Never.
Oh, thank you.
I mean it. I was so excited for tonight's show. I can't wait for the world to meet you, because they're going to fall in love with you. If they haven't already, they're silly enough to not have fallen in love with you already in these first few minutes. It's coming. By the end of this interview, I can't wait till we get to the end of this when we get to talk about your YouTube channel, because I guarantee everyone's going to be flooding it. I will say thank you so much. But before we get there, I don't want to rush this. I'm saving that for the end. How did you find your way to the ALS Association?
I feel like they found me.
They have a way of doing that.
There's a little bit of an inside track there. Coleen works with one of the doctors at her clinic who is very proactive with connecting us. So when he diagnoses a patient, he tells them about the ALS Association, but very often they're getting so much information that they just get overloaded. So he, with their permission, sends us the patient's information, so we make an outreach and connect.
Okay. So Peggy, were you the one that reached out to Coleen the first time?
I don't remember if it was me or Gemma. We work as a team, and we kind of assign people, but it just sort of depends, because Coleen goes to one of the clinics that I attend, and she's in one of the support groups that I moderate. So
I not feel so bad.
You found out, but I'm really glad you did.
I don't feel bad because I don't remember either.
It happened, and we're very happy. How about that?
It was magic. It's just happening.
I love it. Oh, Julie's jumping in saying that, Coleen, you have such a beautiful smile and so much courage. Thanks for being a beacon. It's so true. And actually, so I wanted to jump into another question, but we just got a question from a viewer, which is really cool. So we have someone tuning in from Bali, and he wants to know, Coleen, I'm curious, your form of ALS goes after only the throat area. All other motor functions are still there. So that's a great question. So for those of them that don't know, can you explain your type of ALS?
Most people have a limb or spinal onset affecting arms and legs and working inward toward this area of the body. This is called the bulbar area for eating, swallowing, breathing. Now, with my bulbar onset, that means this area affected first. My onset was over 2 years ago, and so far,
Exactly. Let's give a little bit of clap into that.
so far I have no spread to my arms and legs. It might or might not happen, but at this point, we don't know. Right now, only here.
But we still love hearing you because we still know everything you're saying. And this has not stopped you one bit from communicating with the world, which actually.
Oh, I haven't been here. I have, yeah, look at me fumbling. I have,
I love that you have props.
I have my paper. I have a clipboard.
Oh my gosh.
I have a boogie board.
Oh my gosh. I love it.
I have my hobby in the box.
I love it. You're prepared for everything. Okay, so now that we're on the topic of communication, so there's obviously a lot of changes that come with the diagnosis of ALS. So you've adopted, you've adopted a lot, and you've done it with such grace and such courage. So, and one of those changes we're just talking about right now is communication. So can you tell us a little bit about the changes that happen with communication, like the importance of communication, the ways you communicate, how you had mentioned wanting to preserve your voice for your daughter. Let's talk a little bit about communication.
Oh yeah. So much of my life requires communication. But just as you choose your word and how you speak in different situations with different people, the different communication tools have just that same kind of feel. So I have adapted all these different ways to communicate for the different situations. I try a little bit of sign language, but that only works if the other person knows it too.
We know, thank you.
Yeah, I say that a lot.
Aww.
I'm very thankful.
Let's teach all the viewers. How do you say I love you in sign language?
I don't know all of them, but right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, all right there.
Oh, what is that?
Oh, that.
Are you doing some Star Wars?
Coleen is a big Trekkie.
Okay. I knew that one. Even though I've never seen a movie, I knew that one. So I love this. So viewers, we love all of you. So we're sending you a big love. And so speaking of the ways that you communicate, actually, this is one of my favorite things to say. I am obsessed with the name of your YouTube channel. So like I said, you decided you're not sitting back. You wanted to be an inspiration. You wanted to teach your daughter, your kids how to like jump in the face of all of this and be courageous. So you started this YouTube channel, and guys, get ready for this. It's called Got Balls. Yes, got bALS, Got Balls on YouTube. Absolutely. And I went down the rabbit hole and I could not stop watching your YouTube videos. So where did this come from? Because that can't possibly be easy, because you are very, I mean, I was watching them. Oh, I love that you got
Oh, I need one of those.
We love perfectly placed products on this show, so I appreciate
yeah.
that. I love it. Okay, so Got Balls, you are very open. I mean, I was watching the episodes, and you've got some hilarious ones, like the terrible twos. You had the one about the disgusting Halloween challenge. Like, you don't hold back. You put the good, the bad, the ugly. You put all of it out there for the world to see, which I love. I really do love that about you. Was that hard for you to decide? What made you want to just put it all out there?
Well, how I say you're going to run? I mean, honestly, if I want a caregiver to know what to expect, if I want somebody newly diagnosed to prepare what to expect, then for me that makes sense. That's how you learn.
It's true. You're not hiding it. You're not back by any means, which I do love, because, and you explain a lot of the reasons. You explain why you're, dabbing your mouth. You go through what it's like to eat. Well, I mean, things I wouldn't have even thought of. I mean, I know most of us get up and we're hungry. We eat food. It takes us seconds. We put it down and move on with life. Right? Do you miss those days? It's not like that for you.
I do. I miss the day saying, oh, hey, I'm going to go run do this. I'll grab and go. No. I'm not really having that opportunity. And now I have to plan, like, well, half hour to eat. Now my whole day bump is schedule.
Coleen, I really love your videos because they, we as care services field a lot of these questions. Where do I get thickener for my fluid? How do I bring my lunch to work and keep it warm? But your videos, they're coming from a real life experience. It's more than me as a nurse telling somebody something. And I have shared your links, and people so appreciate your honesty and your humor, and you're giving them really good, useful information too.
That is my hope. That is my goal. And that's the whole reason I'm here. When my doctor, he said, you might have this. And I look like, I know, do I have to wait 6 weeks for AMG, wait more weeks for blood work, and comparing what all of these things, what their symptoms were. Guess what? I had the smallest amount of information out there. Well, I see a need, and I want to fill the gap.
That's so smart. And so speaking of that, speaking of needs and gaps, now Peggy, you're out there and you're working with amazing individuals with ALS like Coleen and so many more. What do you feel like is the biggest need in the ALS patient community at the moment?
I only get one. I can't.
Oh, I know. What are some of them?
So, getting back to what Coleen was just saying, that there's, especially with bulbar onset ALS, people take a long time to get to a diagnosis because even neurologists don't recognize it. So we need more education for clinicians to recognize this earlier and get people connected to resources as early as possible. We need research. We need a cure. So that there's a lot of great research happening. We just need to keep that forward momentum that we have. And we need resources for people who are living with ALS now. It's a very expensive disease, and it takes a lot out of families taking care of somebody with ALS. So, funding for care services, the things that we are able to help provide, equipment, there are a lot of needs.
Unfortunately, but there are also a lot of things that you guys are doing so incredibly well. I'm so proud to even be around you because you guys are doing some great things. So on that scale, what do you think are some of the greatest Greater Chicago chapter of our ALS Association? What do you think are some of the greatest strengths of the care service section?
I have to start with our team. We're a great combination of nursing and social work. So we bring clinical disease information and then connecting resources, interpersonal skills. So and we learn from each other. We nurses have learned a lot of social work skills from Kelly, our social worker. And at the same time, she's a social worker and she can talk about ALS better than a lot of clinicians I know. So I think personally, we have a really strong team, but then our programs are, bar none, the best in the country. And other chapters copy us. Our support groups, we made them virtual as soon as we found out that we couldn't meet in person. We've expanded so that we have some groups tailored to specific needs within the ALS community. We have developed our bereavement program so that we continue to follow patients, and our education programs. I think probably our shining stars, our caregiver boot camp program, which is it's a half day of information that, you have so many questions when your loved one is diagnosed with ALS, and we have several hours of information where you can just kind of dive in and get your questions answered. And that, again, is a program that the rest of the country is starting to model.
I love that. And I've heard that from so many people, more people that I can count, that when I'm out and about, or I was in California and I got to meet the chapter director out there. And as soon as he heard I was from Chicago, right up oh my gosh, you guys are seriously, you guys are the chapter we want to be like. Colleen's dancing over there. It's true. They deserve it.
We are rock stars. I'm not even pretend to be humble about it. We're rock stars.
Yeah, it's true.
I know.
Thank you, Coleen.
How has Coleen, how has Peggy and the ALS Association impacted your life? Where to begin, right? Where do you begin?
I'm gonna cry.
If you start, do you realize this is going to be a funnel? This is going to be a domino effect, and it's going to get all of us.
Okay, so if Coleen, she can't talk, so we got to put this back a little bit. I'm gonna.
You know what? Even though Peggy and I did not remember meeting in person, I do remember our first support group meeting, and that changed a lot for me. To know that even though I'm way out here in the boonies, I have somebody right here with me whenever I need. And having a support group, that also very, very helpful. And I look forward to seeing Peggy and my support group every month. We talk about things, maybe cry a little, maybe a few laugh.
More than a few.
We are together. And when I have a bad day, email Peggy, and all better. All better.
I can't imagine you having a bad day. You're just a bundle of joy all the time. But no, I mean, it happens. I know that it happens. Peggy, how about you? How has Coleen changed your life?
You know, Coleen, when you first started talking, you started talking about the example you set for your daughter. And I'm a mom. I have 2 teenage girls, and that just really resonated with me. You know, when we're moms, we know that they're watching our every move. And when you come up against a challenge, they're watching how you manage it. And I really admire, you know, I got to know you when you're out of your comfort zone already. But prior to all this, you were a pretty private person, hard to believe. It's just so preciously ironic that you losing your ability to communicate or to speak, I shouldn't even say communicate, but you losing your ability to speak helped you find your voice.
Oh
right?
my gosh.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
That's the best way you could say it, Peggy. Seriously, how many people out there would be able to turn that around like this? And like you said, lose your ability to speak and find your voice. That I can't say it enough, Coleen. You are such an inspiring and strong woman. I'm in awe of you.
Thank you. Yeah, I was thinking, boy, if I could turn back time or say that I never had that ALS and my life would be wonderful. But I think about that's not true because above my ALS made me a person I am today.
Yeah, a lot of that. Exactly. You're a pretty amazing person, Coleen. And Peggy, you too. I mean, I'm so glad the two of you found each other because you're a dynamic duo. You really are. And so, I mean, we do keep talking about this ALS because you're living this struggle, you're living this fight every single day of your life. But also, individuals with ALS are so much more than just ALS. And it's really important. I want to get that point across because it's more than this. So, Coleen, tell us a little bit about the Coleen outside of ALS. Is there maybe a couple of things that people would be really surprised to know about you?
Well, Peggy already said that today. But I also have a motorcycle license.
A motorcycle license? Is that what you said? So you are also a daredevil.
I knew you were a badass.
I got you. I'm so proud of you.
I learn something new every day. That was a new one on me.
I'm just instantly picturing, Coleen, I'm just picturing you on the motorcycle decked out in a leather jacket that says "Got Ball" .com on the back of it. Just, cruising around having a good old time. I love this. Oh, Mizanti just joined. Oh, he just got home from work, so he's late, but he loves everyone. Well, Mizanti, you're going to have to go back and watch this episode because you do not want to miss Coleen and Peggy talking. And you guys, I had more things I wanted to ask you, but I wanted to end that. Peggy, you said it so perfectly. I want to say it again that Coleen, you're losing your voice, but you are finding your voice in such a bigger way, and you are such an inspiration to everybody. So in the name of some fun, lighter things to try to push these tears away for all of us, if both of you ladies just have a little fun with me for a second, if you guys were to just magically find a genie in a bottle, what would your 3 wishes be? I know. Ooh.
Well, of course, cure for ALS.
My wish number 1 too.
I need my wish jar. Hold on.
Ooh, what? You have a wish jar? I love this.
I forgot. Oh no, not count.
Wish for big. I love it. You know what though? You'd be wasting so much time taking care of it. There's so many other cooler things in life to be doing.
I'm all about low maintenance hair these days. So just glad to have some.
Very good on my hair.
I love this.
But, I wish for my kid to have a happy and fulfilling life.
Ditto.
Ah, darn it. You started it again, Coleen. No, you know what?
Oh, this one. After I'm cured.
You wish you could say anything you wanted without getting.
Eat anything without a tummy ache or gaining weight.
These are some seriously strategic and well thought out wishes. I love this. I want to come to that party where we all have the best hair. Yes, unlimited candy, here we come. Where ALS is cured, there's no longer the battle for ALS, and where all of our kids are having the best possible life. I think that sounds like a world I want to be in. Absolutely.
I'm going to just add one more.
Yeah.
An end to this goofy pandemic so I can actually give Coleen a hug one of these days.
Oh, hug.
Virtual.
Love you guys.
I love you too so much. Seriously, I cannot tell you enough. The two of you both. You guys are so inspiring. You are so inspiring, and I'm so glad that we got to do this. And there's a million more things that I would want to ask you and want to talk to you guys just all night long, but we're going to have you back because you guys are amazing. Coleen, thank you for stepping up and showing the world the humor behind ALS and showing people the real, like, behind the curtain peek at what's going on so everyone's prepared. And Peggy, what you do, yes, you guys check out Got Balls because it's really fun to say, and you're going to have so much fun watching this video. You got the best humor about everything, and you can get a real glimpse on what it's like every single day for someone fighting this battle of ALS. And Peggy, what you do for everybody that you encounter, I mean, everyone that has ever met you, I just hear them gush about you because you are such an amazing, all the hearts. You two were meant to find each other because I think you guys are soul sisters. I'm convinced of it.
Glad we did.
Anything else you guys want to say before we head out for the night?
I want to say thank you for inviting me to be on your show. It was a real honor and a lot of fun too.
Thanks for having us, and Susan, thanks for just this platform and what you have made of it. I really appreciate all that you're doing to just get the word out there.
Well, we're not going to stop. We're not stopping until we find this cure, and then we're going to have that big candy eating party. It's happening. I'll bring the wig so we all have that big, beautiful hair.
I'll bring the chocolate.
So much love to you, ladies. Thank you guys for everything you do, and I hope I see you guys real soon. Stay safe, okay? Oh my gosh, this show just gets to me, you guys. If you got to check out Got Balls. I'm not even kidding, because she is just the coolest. I cannot stop laughing. She's probably one of the only people that can take ALS and make jokes about it and get you completely cracking up about some of the hysterical ways that it actually affects your body. It's not funny, but she finds a way to make it funny. And the care services, that's another thing. I cannot say enough great things about them. And again, I want to remind you that everything they do is free. So the only way that we can keep doing these things, we can keep having Peggy team up with individuals with ALS, keep helping them, keep providing, transportation, devices, care service training, all of those things are through your donations. So make sure you check out the Tiltify campaign. The link is in the comments. Check it out. We can post it again, but your donations go to that. They go to people like Coleen. They go to helping and giving her a better quality of life. So please keep that in mind. Please get your wallets open. Please keep on donating and keep this happening. Now, a couple more things I want to throw out to you before we get to our next guest, who is equally going to blow you away, might I just add. But speaking of talking, which you've obviously seen that I love doing so much, there's a Connecting ALS podcast. So if you haven't got enough ALS news and information from watching our show on the first and third Tuesday of every month, you can check out the podcast. Our very own Kendra Alberts, who's the Director of Development for our Greater Chicago chapter, she was just on the latest podcast episode talking about all things walks and how to get people involved and how the scheme of that has been changing with the pandemic. Everything has gone virtual. So now we are unfortunately no longer meeting in the big groups like we used to and we loved doing. But now we are doing mini virtual walks, which is so exciting because that means there are no distance restrictions. So no matter what town, what city, heck, what even country you are in, it doesn't matter. You can join a walk team. You can start your own walk team. You can walk by yourself if you want to. There's literally no rules. This is exciting. This is like the wild, wild west of walks. So registration for all 4 walks are open now. We have the Chicago Walk coming up on June 5th. We have the Peoria Walk on September 11th. We have the Northern Illinois Walk on September 18th. And then the Champaign Walk on September 25th. And like I said, registration is open. And if you happen to be a team captain, you're going to get a really cool box of goodies in the mail. And we are raising money through the walk. And we're only about 15.8, so just under 16% of the way to our goal, which is a hefty one. So we're trying to raise $803,000. So spread the word. Tell everyone you know, see if anyone's interested. And the cool thing is you can just get outside, grab your neighbors, grab a friend, grab family, take a walk around the block together, take a walk in a park, heck, even walk to the end of your driveway if that's all you're up for. But do all of that in the name of ALS and help us get closer to our goal to help find a cure and end ALS. So we appreciate that. Keep that in mind. And again, for all information on that, you can check out the website, alsachicago.org, and they will have all the information. Or you can reach out to us on social media. We're on all social media platforms at ALSA Chicago. I'm there too, Season_Marie_. And I love hearing from you guys. So you can shoot me a message if you have any questions. There it is. Yep, follow them on Facebook, and they're always willing to help. Yeah, we're here. We want to hear from you. Speaking of that, guys, so what did you think? Chime in. Tell me in the comments. What did you guys think about Peggy and Coleen? How awesome were they? I want to know. Give me some thoughts. I love that people were chiming in, asking questions. I think that's really awesome. So keep that up. So when we bring our next guest on, if there's anything you want to know about him, chime in because we will ask it as long as we see it. If I'm ignoring it, I don't mean to. I'm really sorry. Sometimes I just get really wrapped up in talking to the guests. So speaking of super, super cool people, our next guest is another one who tonight's episode is so full of inspiring people. And he's another one that I met, and I would like to think our paths would have crossed anyways, but I don't know if they would. So the ALS Association and Seasoned Sunflower Hour has brought some super amazing people in my life, and he is one of them. His name is Steve, and he has spent more than 30 years as the founder, the president, and the CEO of the Cochlan Group, which is an insurance and executive directors benefits organization. Now, he was at the top of his career, and Steve found himself having all of these, he was battling muscle twitches that went on constantly and involuntary. And after, numerous tests, numerous doctor's appointments, he was sat down and he was told the sentence that nobody wants to hear. he was officially diagnosed with ALS. So that, of course, will turn your world upside down. But I am so impressed with what he has done with it. He's another one, just like Coleen, who has refused to sit back and let ALS define him and turn him into a victim. He has stood up with such strength and such courage to take it on and say, not today, ALS. And he's done some amazing things with it. So to tell us about his journey, please welcome Steve Cochlan.
Thanks, Susan. I appreciate the intro and appreciate you folks having me on here tonight. Before I get started, I just wanted to say that, oh my goodness, Colleen's attitude and her the way she inspires people is just amazing. And Coleen, keep that up. That's just awesome. And Peggy, your passion for serving and helping, and I could see the love in your heart toward Coleen and vice versa. That was just so great to see. Just wish everybody in America had that type of thing going for them. So appreciate you both.
I love that you said that. Wouldn't the world if everyone had a little bit more of that in their hearts?
Well, we're called to love one another, right? That's the greatest commandment. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. Period. End of story. That's what we're supposed to do, right?
Yeah. Oh, I love that you did that. But Steve, you can't see Coleen. She's back there in our little green room. She is cheering. She's so excited. She's so honored, I know, by what you're saying. So is Peggy. But that's how I look at you, to be totally honest. I'm not just saying that because you're on the show. So you and I, we met each other because of this, or not even met each other in person thanks to COVID. But I was hearing so many great things about you. I got to talk to you on the phone, and by the time we hung up the phone, I felt like I've known you for years. I felt like we were new friends. I can't imagine now not having you in my life. I don't know where you've been all these years in my life. I am so blown away by you. I can't wait for all these people on Twitch to get to hear your story as well, because it's pretty amazing. So let's start back at the beginning. So April 23rd, 2019, you got that horrible sentence. Like I said, the sentence that nobody ever, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. No one wants to hear this. You were diagnosed with ALS. So where'd your head go? You said something that really hit me. What did your doctor tell you when this all happened?
So it was interesting. The process actually started in 2018 in the summer. And I started getting all these twitches and fasciculations in my chest and my nose and my arms. And I just said, you know what? Something's wrong here. So I went to Mayo Clinic, got some preliminary tests. The doctor came back and said, we think you may have ALS, but we want to run some more tests. And of course, like a lot of people, I had no earthly clue what ALS was. I heard of Lou Gehrig's disease, but I never heard of ALS. And so I went back a couple months later, had every test in the book. And the doctor brought me in and said, hey, guy, just got to tell you, you've got ALS. You've got 2 to 3 years to live. So go home and pack your bags and get your house in order. And it was literally a 2-minute conversation. And it hit me just, I was praying and hoping all along that wouldn't occur. And it just hit me like a ton of bricks. And so I went back into the room and started thinking about this disease and how I was going to cope with it. And, just millions of things going on in your mind, of course. And how I was going to tell my family and my friends about it. So it took me about probably 3 to 4 weeks to really, really process it and then start communicating to people outside of my family as to what was going on. And in many cases, even months before I did so. But one of the things that during that process that struck me as I was looking for answers, and in fact, this is how I came to you folks, is I called Mayo and said, what do I do? And they said, well, one of the things you might want to consider is look up your local ALS association. And so I called, and about probably an hour later, Jumana Baruti called me back. We had a great conversation. She came over to meet with me and my wife right away. We started conversations, what this is going to look like and all that type of thing, so I get a better feel. And then we connected good there. And then I was thinking, from you know, I really needed to connect with somebody too, to actually spend time with me, pray for me, connect with me. And I was trying to find some organization out there connected with ALS that would know ALS and walk through this with me, from just a shoulder to cry on, so to speak. And that's when I started thinking about, why doesn't the disease have a place for people to go that can get some Christ-centered type of love, to really give them love and support as they walk through this challenge. And there wasn't really anything like that in any disease, not just ALS, whether it's cancer or Parkinson's disease or MS or whatever. And as fate would have it, tell me if I'm talking too much, by the way.
Never.
So as fate would have it, I was out, and I've been blessed to still be able to play golf, although it's not pretty. I'm probably hitting the ball about 150 yards with a driver, which
Okay,
is
so I just say that better than I could ever do. So great,
yeah.
you're doing great.
So anyhow, I'm out there and I'm playing with a buddy of mine, and I just said, you know what, this is what I'm thinking. And he goes, I have somebody you need to talk to. I mean, I had no idea, you know, I wasn't trying to get his help, but he just said, I have somebody you need to talk to. And this individual's name's Bill Shield, and Bill is the president of Northern Seminary. And so they've got a group over there that helps people launch different programs. And so he connected me with Tommy Lee and Sarah Martell, and we started thinking through this. And then meanwhile, believe it or not, I was talking to Jumana about this, and she goes, you need to talk to Julie Sharp. And I go, really? Tell me about her. So she gave me the skinny on Julie, and I called Julie, and Julie said, that's a great idea. We need to try to figure out this. And then she connected me with one of her board members as well. And we just started the program going. And that was probably, 11 months ago. And we just launched it this last, probably 3 or 4 weeks ago. So we're starting to bring people aboard. It's a free program, and it's really just to come alongside people with ALS, their family members, their friends, their caretakers, and just provide love and hope and support. It's just a shoulder to cry on, or if they need just somebody to talk to, or whatever. But be on that journey with them from start to finish. And by the way, it is a Christ-centered type approach, but you don't need to be Christian in order to avail yourself. If you don't want the prayer, you know, to the best of my recollection, Jesus loved everyone. So guess what? This is open to everyone. And if you don't want prayer, so be it. You just need somebody to walk alongside you, love on you, and just a listening ear. So be it. That's great. And we provide that free of charge. And just the whole goal is to just provide these folks with hope as they're going through this ugly, ugly disease that we have.
You jumped right in. I was going to tell you that you've taken this and you've used this voice, like how we keep saying Coleen lost her voice to gain her voice. You luckily have not lost your voice, but you've gained a whole nother level of your voice and your outreach. And so I want to throw the name out there because we didn't say that. So you saw this area that there was a need, that something was missing. And I love you, and the person you are wasn't about to just sit back and be okay with that. You said, no way. What's missing? What do we do about it? You made it happen. So just about 4 weeks ago, you opened the doors, you made it official. You've called it ALS Family of Faith, which is what you were telling us about. So explain that again a little bit for people that don't understand. So what are the services that you actually provide? The doors are open to everybody. It's free of charge. What can they expect when they come to ALS Family of Faith?
Well, the bottom line is we just want somebody to be part of their family from the perspective that they can come to them with anything that's bothering them, and just be either, you know, a prayer warrior or a listening ear or somebody that's to cry on their shoulder, whatever. and just walk through this. It's not about being a psychologist or any of that kind of stuff. But these people are trained to love on people. So again, even though it's Christ-centered love, because the way Christ love is beyond anybody way we can love, it's not just germane to people who are of faith. It's people, anybody that is involved with ALS, and we just want to love and support them. That's it.
I love that. And you mentioned it's free of charge. And I want to point out, I was reading an article, so tell me if I'm wrong on this, but not only is it free of charge, but you haven't been asking for donations. I mean, you've done all of this. You have sponsored all of this. You are paying for this. You are putting this all together to just truly help others and to make their life a little bit better. It's all coming out of your pocket.
We don't want donations. We don't want people to feel pressured. You know, there's enough, and not that I'm
Yeah.
got to be careful how I say it, but there's a lot of places that you can call in, and then at the end they go, now can you give us a seed or a donation or whatever the case may be. We don't want that. We don't want them to feel pressured that they owe anything. We just want to love on people. That's it. You know, provide just a source, an outlet, I guess, for people to talk to, and the goal here is to match them with somebody that's compatible. They write the script. The individuals that are asking for the service write the script as to what's going to happen, and then this person should walk through that all the way from start to finish with them. That's the goal.
You bring up a great point. You call it writing the script. So it's not this cookie cutter one-stop shop where everyone's getting the same type of path. It's not that, right? It's truly individualized based on exactly
Absolutely.
what you want.
Absolutely. If somebody wants just to call in and have an hour of their time just listening to what the person has to say, great. If they want to sit back and have the other person talk to them the entire time, great. If you want to just sit and cry together, that's fine too. Whatever you want to do. You know, if you want prayer, ask for prayer. You know, it's just whatever those individuals need and want. It's just to give them love and support throughout this crazy time that we're going through.
I can't believe that this hasn't been in existence. I'm so glad that you recognize that need and you did this. And when we had talked on the phone, you made a really great point. So what do you see are the future of ALS Family and Faith? Where do you want this to go?
Ideally, I'd love to see everybody avail themselves of it, you know, and just use it to help them walk through this crazy journey that they're on. And then eventually we are hoping to use this as a template. And we've already discussed this with some large entities to go into fields like cancer or Parkinson's or muscular dystrophy or multiple sclerosis, all of those places, because there's nothing like that out there. And we want it to be free of charge. We don't want to charge people for this, to love on them. That's crazy. So
you realize you have just sparked something here. You've just started this legacy that is larger than life. 100 years from now, I can't wait to hear people still talking about ALS Family of Faith and then all the great things it spawned into. You've done this. It all started with you.
Well, it's not me. I was inspired by somebody else. So yeah, I'm just the tool. I'm just the tool.
Well, he's working through you and he's doing it pretty darn well, because I just can't. And you've done all of this in such a short period of time too, despite all.
Well, and that's what's amazing. You know, it's really amazing that just to be talking about it, and then somebody makes an introduction, then you talk about it again, somebody else makes another introduction, and then all of these people come together and they're compatible to be able to work with one another to develop this vision. And it's not me, by the way. I mean, I might have been involved in that big picture, but I'm not in the trenches doing all this. The work that's been performed is by others. It's crazy how fast they've developed this in such a short amount of time, and the quality of which it is. And we're combined with the Grow Center at Northern. We're combined with Moody Seminary. So those folks are involved. And they just all have a big passion for helping people. It's just neat to see.
Well, it all comes from the idea, and you're the fearless leader, and it starts at the top. So seeing all of them get the work done so quickly, it makes a lot of sense when, you know, it's you leading the ship. So kudos to you on getting this done, because this is such an amazing feat. And we put the link up there. I want to throw that up there again. So it's in our comment section. We'll throw it up on here too, because I want you guys to check it out. So if you know anybody that's going through this journey, if you are experiencing this journey, check them out, because it is just love. It's just loving on each other however you need it.
And I'll see one more thing. There's a lot of resources on there too. So we have a resource tab where you can click on that will send you over to books and movies and, you know, email and whatever. That will be a resource for you as well. So there's some pretty neat stuff on the website.
Cool. They'll have to check it out. So I don't know if you guys caught one of our episodes. It was actually, I think, our last episode. My days are running together. But the Rickies were on, the husband and wife. So they just chimed in. Mike Ricky just jumped in to say thank you, Steve. He wanted to thank you so much for everything you're doing in such an awesome way to provide support to those with ALS. My prayer is that your vision will continue to grow and many will find comfort through ALS Family of Faith. That is coming from the Rickies. So I love that. There's so much support, and you just launched this, and already, I mean, you're a superstar in my mind. You're a big time celebrity now. So we're lucky we even got you on the show, because you were doing radio interviews earlier today about this. This is already just blowing up, which is pretty darn exciting to see.
Well, and it's so neat to see how God's hand is in all this stuff. It's crazy. You know, I'm sitting by, I'm just going, okay, great. And then people are calling, and I mean, it's really fun. It's really a blessing.
Were there any challenges going through this process? I mean, because you're a seasoned sort of businessman. You've been in the business world for 30 years, started a business. Now you kind of transitioned into starting this. Were there any hurdles you had to get through, any challenges that were pretty difficult bringing this vision to life?
That's a good question. You know, there really wasn't. What's interesting is out of all of the companies that I've been involved with in starting and bringing to fruition, this has probably been the easiest one. Yeah. I never thought about that.
I think that's a pretty great sign that you really had the guy upstairs walking next to you, just kind of clearing everything out of your path to make sure that this was happening.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, you know, that's the whole thing, is to glorify God in all you do. And, you know, and I'm going back to Coleen for a second. You know, one of the things that we're called to do every single day is to be joyful. That's a command. Be joyful always, pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances. That's God's will for you through Christ Jesus. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that we have to be thankful for the circumstances that we've been given, because I don't like ALS as much as the next person, but we have to be thankful in all circumstances. So even though we hate what's going on, we still have to be thankful. And so that's, you know, and that's not always easy to do, believe me. But every morning, that's my goal. I got it on the wall. Be joyful always, pray continually. Just go at it, try to make a difference in the day. So
you make a good point, because it's real easy to feel blessed and be thankful when you're on a high, when everything is going good. But when the chips start to fall and things get real tough, it's real hard to keep that positive mind. So, I mean, you're right. Coleen is doing it. You're doing it. Every time I've talked to you, you've been so happy and so joyful. And you're not wasting a second. I love this. You are just making your life count every step of the way. And not only are you doing it for yourself, but you're doing it for this whole entire community and anybody that reaches out to you. I'm so proud to know you.
Well, thanks. And Susan, and it's been great knowing you too. And you know what's interesting? And I told somebody this today on the radio. But if it wasn't for ALS, I'd still be doing all these other crazy things that probably weren't very important. Okay. You know, I live in life large, doing my own thing, you know, having fun. Don't get me wrong. I always made an attempt to contribute, make a difference and all that, but not to the extent that I'm doing today. I think this ALS sort of platformed me in a different situation whereby, you know, these other opportunities that I've uncovered and opened up that I'm doing and involved with, I would have never done before. I think, it's just, I don't like ALS, but in some respects, it's been a true blessing.
Oh my gosh. See, the fact that you can even look at it that way is so special. You really are finding sort of the beauty and the joy in something that is so ugly. You've turned it into something that is really beautiful. I can't believe it. Well, before we go, I mean, I want to hear a little bit about you because you are such an amazing communicator and you still, I mean, you look fantastic. You still have great mobility, but I was really surprised. I was super shocked when you told me that you've lost about 70% of your muscle to ALS already, right? I mean, I wouldn't even be able to tell. How is
I
this?
have. That's this shirt right here. This is, I don't know what size it is, but I used to fill it out. Not this one, but this size. In fact, this is my ALS shirt, by the way. I just want to make sure everybody sees that.
I love that.
So, but yeah, so it's my body has deteriorated a lot. I mean, because of the fasciculations, because your muscles are going 100%, 24/7. So so I've lost some good weight and I've lost a lot of muscle strength. But again, I think part of where I've been blessed is I try to keep positive all the time, regardless of that. God still has a plan. He's going to figure this out. Whether it's here or in heaven, guess what? I've got hope for eternity, and in heaven there is no pain. So who knows?
You've got the best attitude. Well, thank you seriously. Thank you for being here because, like I said, you're already a celebrity. I don't know how you fit in.
Oh, right.
There are so many more interviews and radio and all kinds of great stuff in your future. But you guys check out ALS Family of Faith because what Steve is doing, what Steve and his whole team are doing is so incredible. So I can't say it enough.
Yeah, my team.
Yeah. You know what, though? But again, it all comes from the top, and you are the fearless leader that has set this ball in motion. So if it weren't for you, this wouldn't even be happening.
Can I say one more thing real quick?
Yeah, you can say
I would love, and to the viewers, I don't know who's on here, how many people, and all that type of thing, but I would love for Season to spend 15 to 20 minutes on one of these sessions, somebody grilling her on how she got involved, because she has a great story too.
You are so sweet. So, and I haven't been sharing that story a lot lately. So when we were talking and you asked me, I loved being able to talk to you about that. I love being able to share stories. And I mean, from what I told you, I've told you this, but I know that my friend and you would have just loved each other. He would have been one of the first people in line to come through those doors at ALS Family of Faith because he was right behind that. He believed all of those same things. And I know that he is up there cheering you on. And he was probably one of those amazing little angels that was down there protecting you, knocking all these obstacles out of the way.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be a big party in heaven for those that believe. So we got to get everybody up there so we can party together.
Heck yeah. So when you get up there, his name is Frank. So make sure him. He was a big surfer, so he's gonna want to take you surfing and teach you surfing so you guys can surf and party away. Oh, thank you. I just keep getting emotional on these episodes. Keep getting so. Is there anything else you want to say to all of the Twitchers out there that are watching?
No, just keep a positive attitude. God loves you. Just look to him for the future, for hope, for all of eternity, and just understand that this isn't all there is. There's heaven for all of eternity. So
You make a great point. This is not all there is, Steve, but you are doing so much with your time here on Earth. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I know there's so many people that are watching this now that are inspired and are going to look into this and see how they can help. So thank you for being the leader to get this going.
Thank you, Season. I really appreciate you.
Well, I hope I see you again very soon because, like I said, I feel like I've known you forever. So this friendship is beginning. And if there's any way that I can ever help, you just let me know because I'm so proud of you and I want this mission to succeed and I want this to just grow into something bigger than life. So keep up the good work. Keep that positive attitude. And I hope to talk to you really, really soon.
That sounds terrific.
Bye. You guys. I told you that this was going to be a great episode tonight. I don't even know where to begin with these three. They are just some of the most incredible people ever. So if you guys aren't thoroughly and inspired and just jumping from the rooftop with energy of all of that, then I don't know what's wrong with you. These are incredible people. Oh, so true, Chloe. I love seeing you guys get involved. I love that. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I do want to remind you that, again, all the services that Steve's organization provides are for free, and all of the services that we just got a donation on Tiltify from Mud Stuffin'. These names are getting more and more creative every week, and I'm here for it. I cannot tell you, I love this so much. Coleen is cracking up. This is a perfect Coleen name. Mud Stuffin'. Thank you so much for donating to Tiltify. And Lindsay, thank you for sending so many blessings. We all are, I know. Virtual hugs for everybody. This has been such a great group tonight. Thank you so much for the donation. Anyone else inclined to do it, jump on, donate, because again, all the services that are provided are absolutely free. And don't forget to subscribe, to follow us on social media, especially follow us on Tiltify, because we do not want you to miss an episode. You thought tonight was great. Well, there are so many more amazing individuals that you guys are going to get to meet, so you don't want to miss this at all. Check the comments before we get off to make sure you have all of the resources on how to get involved. Check out Colleen's YouTube Got Balls channel. Check out ALS Family of Faith, and keep up to date with all the amazing things that are happening in the world of ALS. And we are going to keep fighting until we find a cure, because this is not over. We are going to end this. We want Coleen. We want Steve. We want all the individuals battling ALS. We want them to have that happy ending. We want a cure to come in their lifetime. So help us make that possible. And we will see you back here on the next episode. Remember to tune in on the first and third Tuesday of every month at our Tiltify channel. And as always, until the next time I see all of you, make sure to keep that smile, keep that positive attitude, and be bright and shine your light. I'll see you guys next time.